Gen AI. So how many of you have already worked or maybe have some basic knowledge about Gen AI? Okay, so some of you. Good. So actually half an hour session is very less to cover all the aspects of Gen AI. So we will try to do introductory thing. So you all know, right? Gen AI means generative AI, generative artificial intelligence. This is the full form. Okay, short form is Gen AI. Okay, so basically Gen AI is part of artificial intelligence. Now, what is artificial intelligence first of all? Okay, so as a human beings, we are intelligent. Why? Because we have brain. Thanks to God. So we have capacity to think, we have capacity to make decisions, right? Because we all got brains. So same way, when computer system behaves like a human beings, like computer system is able to think, computer system is able to take decisions, that is known as a artificial intelligence. So in a very short, very simple definition, we can say when computer system behaves like a human beings and able to take decisions, able to make reasonings, so that is the artificial intelligence. So this is my introduction. Okay. So I'm Vrajesh Jayswal. I'm working as a lead technical consultant at Sharedpro company and on BFSI domain projects, means banking projects. And I'm one of the core team member of AWS group. Yeah, I'm AWS certified solution architect, AI practitioner. Recently, I got AWS certified AI practitioner. And before I started my career with AWS, I was working as a Java programmer. So I got 2 certifications in Java: Oracle certified associate and professional Java programmer. And recently, I also got Azure certifications, AZ 900, Microsoft certified Azure fundamentals. Okay. नहीं 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 बहुत 12 सर्टिफिकेट ओके आप करो ना नेक्स्ट आप करो ओके नेक्स्ट so we have already discussed what is artificial intelligence. So it's a big umbrella. It's consists of different technologies under artificial intelligence. Okay, so under first thing, artificial intelligence is the field of computer science which focus on creating systems that can perform tasks which requires human-like intelligence. Okay, that I already explained you. Next thing is machine learning. Now, machine learning is basically training the data set. We have to take a huge data set and we have to use algorithms, specific algorithms, and train the data set using those algorithms. So it will produce the model. Okay, so that is basically machine learning. So machine learning is subset of artificial intelligence. Then deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So deep learning is using multi-layer architecture, which is just like human brains. Actually, our human brain is able to take very complex decisions. So whenever you want to make complex decisions through AI systems, you have to use deep learning. And finally, today's topic is Gen AI, right? So generative AI is subset of deep learning. So generative AI models are based on deep learning models. Okay, so it's a subset of deep learning. Next. Okay, so now let's come to the topic. Today's topic is generative AI basically. So this is a very simplest example of generative AI. Let's say you have one model. You train the model with different images. This is your data set. You train the model with images like cartoons and different kind of dogs. Okay, so once you have trained this model with this kind of images, only 2 types of images, cartoons and dogs, and then if you tell your generative model generate cartoon dog, so this model will be able to combine both the things, cartoon and dog, and then it will generate cartoon dog. So this is very simplest example of generative AI model. You have to train the model on a specific training data set once you train the model, then you can get your work done from the model. Whatever training you have provided to the model, whatever data sets you have used to train the model, accordingly you can get your task done from the model. Next. Okay. So that was very simple example. Now this is like example in the terms of AWS technology. Okay. So see, this is the unlabeled data. Now you required a huge amount of data to train the model. So your data might be labeled data or unlabeled data. Okay. So usually unlabeled data is used to train the foundation model. Now what is this foundation model then? So foundation model is trained on very wide range of data, very wide spectrum of data, okay, huge data and variety of data. So all these unlabeled data will be passed to the algorithms and it will generate one foundation model. So it is known as a pre-trained model because someone has already trained that model. So it is known as a pre-trained model. Then that model will be able to do variety of tasks. As for example, once you train the model, it will be able to do text generation, text summarization. In short, foundation model has one unique feature, that is adaptability. It is capable of doing variety of tasks. That is the unique feature of foundation model. So what are the tasks foundation model can be do? So those tasks are given here: text generation, text summarization, okay, information extraction, image generation, chatbot, question answer. So I think most of the students are using ChatGPT or chatbots to solve their puzzles, assignments, etc. Right? So they are aware like how to do text summarization, information extraction, create reports, etc. Right? So behind the scene, foundation model is used. Now, apart from foundation model, another concept is LLMs, large language models. So what is large language models? Large language models is specially trained on language data. Okay? So and it has better understanding of languages, linguistics norms. So whenever you want to perform very language specific tasks, then you can use the LLMs, large language models. So far we have discussed general terms. What is AI? What is Gen AI? What is foundation model? What is LLMs? Okay? So this is just prerequisite. Now next, today's topic is Gen AI on AWS. So if you want to develop any application using Gen AI, then how AWS can help you? Okay? So there are many services in AWS using which you can develop any Gen AI application. But one of the very good service is Bedrock. So one of the services AWS Amazon Bedrock. So Amazon Bedrock is a service to build any Gen AI application, and it's a serverless service. Serverless means usually what happens when you want to develop any Gen AI applications, you have to take one foundation model, okay? So either you have to train it or you have to take the pre-trained model. Then you have to run that model on any server, okay, with very high configuration GPU servers. So first of all, you have to take the maybe EC2 or maybe you might have on-premises server where you have to run the model. Then you will pass the prompt to the model and model will reply you based on the prompt. So for that require server. But AWS Bedrock is a serverless. Means you need not to provision any server to use Amazon Bedrock. It's a fully managed service. Fully managed service means infrastructure will be managed by AWS. Okay? You only need to focus on development task. But one benefit of AWS Bedrock is whatever data you use, whatever data you pass to the Bedrock foundation model, it will be not shared by the original foundation model. It will create, basically Bedrock creates a copy of foundation model into your network, okay? And then whatever data you use with Amazon Bedrock, it will be not shared with the original foundation model. So usually what happens in organizations, like in any corporate, whatever data, privacy data they have, they don't want to share that data with OpenAI or maybe ChatGPT, like that system, right? Because whatever data you are sharing with ChatGPT or OpenAI, it will be used to train the model itself, okay? but in corporate world, you cannot share your data outside world. So that's the reason most of the corporates has banned almost ChatGPT within their network, and they are developing customized model. They are developing customized Gen AI solutions using technology like Amazon Bedrock. So Amazon Bedrock also provides variety of foundation model. So if you want to develop any Gen AI application, one way you develop your own model. But developing your own model is a very time consuming, and you have to spend millions of dollars to gather the data, to train the model on a specific data, okay? To run the model, to train the model, you require a lot of compute power. Okay, so you have to invest a lot of time as well as a lot of money. So most of the people choose existing FMs. So Amazon Bedrock provides a variety of FMs from different companies like AI21, Anthropic, so many companies are there. So you can choose a particular model as per your need. Once you choose the model, foundation model, then Amazon Bedrock will create the copy of that foundation model within your VPN, AWS VPN, okay? And whatever data you share with that model, that will be not shared with the outside world. Next thing, Bedrock provides API. Now let's say you have developed the model in Amazon Bedrock. Now how will you access it? So to access anything, you require API, application programming interface, right? So Bedrock provides unified API. Unified API means for all the models you have to call the same API. Okay, just you have to pass certain parameters into the API, but APIs are common for all the foundation models. So it provides unified API. So let's say today you are using one model, tomorrow if you switch over to another model, you need not to change your entire code. Okay. Next two topics are RAG and agents that we will see in details in next slide. Next. Okay. So far we have seen what is Gen AI and what is foundation model. Now, let's think about the application for any corporates. Let me take one example. Recently, my company Zebia has developed one application, HR chatbot. Okay. Earlier, what used to happen, if you have any question regarding HR policy, you have to send email to HR people. Okay. And usually HR takes 1 or 2 days to answer your question. Sometimes you have to send a reminder next day. So after 2 days you will get the answer, because so many employees are there and few HR people are there, okay? So they might be very busy. So now Zebia has developed one HR bot. If you have any questions regarding company policy, no need to send email to HR people. Open the bot, ask the questions. So it will answer you exact answer, accurate answer as per the latest company policy, and giving along with the citation. Means if you say, if I work on Saturday, can I get CO or can I get extra salary? It will give you the answer, accurate answer, along with the policy link to the original policy. Like as per this policy, you cannot get CO, something like that, right? So no need to ask any question, no need to send any email to HR. So it's totally automated. So same way, in every field, like people are developing this kind of AI assisted chatbots. Now when you develop AI assisted chatbot for a particular corporate, what is the challenge? If you use existing foundation model, that foundation model is trained on generalized data. That model doesn't know about the latest policy of your company. That model doesn't know about special knowledge about your domains or maybe or your subject. Okay? So how that model can answer question from that knowledge which is not there in foundation model? So that time you have to use RAG. RAG means retrieval augmented generation. Okay? Retrieval augmented generation means, I will explain you through this image. So there is a user. Now user wants to ask question regarding specific product. So product belongs to company. So general foundation model will not have latest knowledge about the product. So what will happen? Within the Bedrock architecture, we will create one knowledge base. So this is the knowledge base. Now in this knowledge base, you have to feed all the information about your corporates or maybe your company, okay? And this knowledge base can be connected to data source. So data source might be S3 bucket, data source might be your company website, data source might be any other source from where you can fetch the data about your organization, okay? So you have to create one knowledge base, you have to create one data source, you have to connect data source with knowledge base. So what will happen when user asks a specific question, who is the product manager for John? So this is not general question, this is very specific question. In my company, John is an employee, and who is the product manager of John, right? So what will happen here? See, this is the prompt, okay? Questions. Now this prompt will go to the knowledge base first, okay? From knowledge base, it will, as per this question, it will retrieve the proprietary data regarding these questions, like who is the manager, who is the John. It will retrieve all those data. Then it will return that information, and it will give that information to the original prompt. So original prompt is your query plus retrieval text. Retrieval text is the information fetched from knowledge base. It's a proprietary information. So original query has been augmented. This process is known as a augmentation. So original question has been augmented with additional information retrieved from company's proprietary data, okay? And that query plus retrieval text will be sent to the foundation model. This is the foundation model. Now foundation model will generate the response, and that response will be returned to the user, okay? So this technology gives capability to the Bedrock to fetch information from your proprietary data source, which is not available with foundation model. And nowadays most of the chatbots are made using this technology. I will give you another example. Our company has developed one special chatbot for banking sector, because in banking sector, like call centers are there, right? Customer call centers are there. So people are asking a lot of questions about banking issues, banking products, and call center representatives are not with up-to-date knowledge all the times, because products, banking rule regulations are changing so frequently. Agents are not able to keep up their knowledge up to the mark, right? So they have developed one special chatbot. So whenever any questions come, it goes to that system, and it will fetch the latest information from the banking documents, and it will give the answers to the user. So gradually this kind of systems are replacing call centers, or they are helping call center agents. Sometimes what happens, call center agents, whenever any questions come, only call center agent will have this system, not the end user. So whatever questions come, call center agent will ask that question to this system, and they will get accurate answer, and then they will answer on the phone. So this is already in place. Many banks are using this kind of systems. So any question in this slide? This is very important slide, and this is very important concept. Using this Bedrock, you can develop your project, like you can learn more, and you can develop any applications. Next. Okay. So second thing is, RAG helps us to fetch information from our proprietary data source. Now second challenging, sometimes some tasks are consist of multiple steps. Suppose somebody has asked the questions. Now to get the answer of that questions, the system has to perform multiple steps. Within a single step, system cannot retrieve the answer. So in such situation, you can use agents, Bedrock agents. So what Bedrock agent does basically, it breaks the main task into subtasks, okay? And it creates a sequence of steps, okay? So, and then it executes the sequence of different steps one by one, and then extract the exact information and return the answers to the user. Another thing agents can do, agents can call the API. So I will give you one example. Let's say I want to, there is some system in some corporates through which user can apply for the leave. Leave means time of request, okay? So first of all, he will ask the questions. whether leave is possible or not as per the company policy or not. Or if possible, he will simply say, okay, apply the leave. So when he say apply the leave, so what the system has to do? System has to go into the company system and it has to actually apply the leave, right? So whatever process you are sending through email or through some tool like Zoho, okay? So that this system has to do. So how system will be able to apply the leave, apply the time of request automatically? System has to call some API. So in that scenario, agent helps. So whenever you submit any task to Bedrock agent divide that task into multiple steps. So it is known as a chain of thoughts. Chain of thoughts with simple multiple steps. Okay? Step 1, step 2. Then automatically it executes different steps. So for some step it might have to retrieve the information. For some step it might have to call the API. Okay? So it will either call the API or simply search the information from the knowledge base, and finally it will produce the result. So using RAG and agent, you can develop any complex system on AWS Bedrock. Next. Now next service is Amazon Q Business. Amazon Q Business is also fully managed GenAI assistant for employees. So let's say you don't want to develop any application using Amazon Bedrock, then what you can do, you can directly use Amazon Q Business. So in case of Amazon Q Business, same way you have to create a knowledge base, a data source, where you have to feed all the company information, your organization information, and then you can create users. So users can simply ask questions related to your company policy, company products, any information regarding your corporates. And the system would be, the Amazon Q Business will be able to answer the accurate answers from the company's data source. Next. So this is one of the use cases. See, one employee is asking a question. Write a job posting for senior product marketing manager role. So someone wants to do this job posting. So he will ask this question to the Amazon Q. So what Amazon Q will do, it will get the data from the company's internal data, it will return the answer, it will create the post, then he can say, okay, push this social media post. So no need to create the social media post it will automatically create the social media post within 50 words, and it will post it on company's LinkedIn account automatically. Okay, you have to do the configurations only. Then let's say you are on leave for 2 weeks. Once you come back from the leave, you can ask these questions to the system. What was discussed during the last team meetings, or what was discussed last 2 weeks? What happened in the last 2 weeks? So it will give you the accurate answers from the company's data source. So these kind of applications are being used in corporates using Amazon Q. Next. Authentication. So Amazon Q also supports authentication through multiple services. Cognito, it supports Cognito, Active Directory, Google. Next. So you need not to write any code for authentication, just you have to do integration. Okay. QApps library. Now Amazon QApps library is a library where you can find out the existing app. So many existing apps are there. If it fulfills your requirement, you can directly utilize it, or you can develop your own app using Amazon QApps and put into the Amazon QApps library and share with other users also. Next. Q developer. Okay. So very good topic for programmers. So nowadays programming is very easy, really. Because when I started my journey with Java programming 15 years back, it was too difficult because no help. But nowadays with less knowledge also you can do the programming, because tools like Amazon Q Developer, you can integrate the tool with your IDE like JetBrains or maybe Eclipse. So as soon as you write the syntax, it will suggest you the next syntax. Or you can ask the question, generate the code for authentication. Generate the code for Java to JSON conversion or XML to JSON conversion. It will generate very accurate code, and you can utilize that code. So it can be used with IDE also. Amazon Q Developer can be used for debugging. So if you have some issue in code, you can ask Amazon Q help for debugging the issue. It will help you to debug. it will do the improvements also. If you ask what are the improvement in my coding, so as per the best practices, it will suggest you the improvement. It will do security scan also. Whenever you develop any software for BFSI industries, security is major concern. So there should not be any vulnerabilities in your code as per the standard. So you can ask Amazon Q, it will scan your entire code, entire project, and it will pinpoint where is the vulnerability in your code and what kind of corrections are required. Okay? It does code review also. Code review means one developer is writing the code, another senior developer review the code to find out the mistakes. So now that task can be done with the help of Amazon Q developer. Okay, so this is very useful tool for developers. Any questions? So this is just overview of Gen AI. Lot many tools are there, and if you want to do any kind of hands-on, then we are already doing monthly meeting. Most of you are knowing. Every second Saturday we are doing monthly meetup in Vadodara. So you can come and you can suggest us. So whatever I have taught you in this session, theoretically, I can show you everything practically. I can guide you and you can do hands-on, and within 3-4 hours you can develop the application using Bedrock or any Gen AI assisted application. Okay? So thank you very much. You can connect with me on LinkedIn also.
Thank you, sir. Please be on stage. That was a very insightful session. I guess we are using ChatGPTs and many generative AI tools, but we never knew the backend, what is going behind the scenes. So.
Yeah, totally. हमने तो बस क्वेश्चन डाल दिया और आंसर मिल गया. हमें तो इतना ही आता है.
अभी खुद का बना सकते हो वैसे.
Yes. So now I would like to ask Ravi sir to felicitate Vrajesh sir. Sir, please come on the stage.
Everyone, big round of applause.
Good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.